Hello, Excellence family. It's Danny Barnes, Director of Agent Relations with Excellence Realty. I'm here with Paul Sardone with Excellence Title, attorney with Excellence Title. How you doing, Paul?
Doing good, Danny. Thank you.
Good. I'd like to welcome everybody to Title Tuesday. And today we're going to continue our series. This is part two, when you can avoid probate when closing a deal. So we did one last week. If you want to go back and watch that first, that would be more beneficial to everybody. But I'll turn it over to you right now, Paul.
Thanks, Danny. Yeah, so last time, this brief recap, we spoke about how to hopefully avoid a probate situation where you need court approval to get your deal closed. Now today, we're going to talk about cases where it's inevitable. We have to go through the court and get the orders. Most people are completely clueless as to what this means. And the most common question I get is, what is the time frame? How long is this going to take to close? And the bad news is that there is no definitive answer for that. Every case is different. It's really a case-by-case basis. So what you have to keep in mind is that when there's a probate, everything goes into the estate. So everything that the person who passed away owned and everything they owed. So all their creditors are also included in there. There needs to be notice given to creditors. So it could take a while. There has to be at least a 30-day notice period. But the good news is that there are ways to get the closings done quicker. And hopefully, if you do have to deal with a probate, it's one of these where it's not something that drags on for months. So there's two different types of probate. And I'm not going to get too technical, but there's people who die and their property needs to go to probate who had a will, and people who died without a will. So assuming the person had a will saying exactly who they wanted to inherit their property and naming their heirs, that will, you still have to go through probate. So that's a very common misconception. People think, well, I have a will, why do I have to go through probate? The will needs to be admitted into the probate. And obviously it makes it a lot easier because now the court has evidence of exactly what that person wanted to do with the property. So the quickest way we're going to get around the notice requirements for creditors and waiting around for months for a closing is with what's called an order determining homestead. So if we can obtain that order from the court, we don't have to wait for the creditor period. The order determining the homestead, if it was the person that the decedent's homestead property, will say who the heirs are, and all we need at that point is a deed signed by all the heirs. So then we can close. And we can pay those people, which is another aspect that sometimes is a little tricky. When we pay these people, I mean, every heir can get their share of the sale, however it's decided in the will. So that's the easy way. And that could be as quick as 30 days, 45 days. It may not even be a problem at all. It may not even push your closing date back. That's best case scenario. When somebody dies without a will, then there's a whole process that goes into it. So there's an order from the court appointing a personal representative. There has to be an order authorizing the personal representative to sell. The court has to determine who the heirs are. The deeds have to come from the personal representative and all of the heirs. And the proceeds in that situation have to go to the estate. So that means when I close the deal, even though the personal representative may be the daughter of the person, the only child, they weren't married, I can't pay her. The court order will say that I have to deposit the money with the estate in the court until any creditors have come and said, hey, he owes me money, he doesn't owe me money. And then they distribute the money accordingly. So that's the worst case scenario. Even in cases where there is no will, there are times when it's an uncontested probate matter and somebody files a probate, and we could still get an order determining the homestead. But again, the main thing that I know, like people say, sometimes I can say, well, we can get this done in 30 days, but it's all going to depend on the courts, where you're at. There's a huge backlog on a lot of this stuff. Maybe you're trying to get this done in the summer and half the probate judges are on vacation. There's a lot of factors that go into it. And I don't handle the probate. I'm not a probate attorney. I'm a real estate attorney, and I do the closings, but I work hand in hand with them, giving them what they need to close the deals. And I can also tell you that hiring a good probate attorney makes a big difference in how quickly we can close. So again, you're not expected to be legal experts in the matter of probate, but your clients aren't gonna have questions about it when you're taking a listing, or when you're in the middle, you sign a contract and all of a sudden the title commitment comes with all these requirements. So it is important for you to be able to set some kind of expectation and then direct them over to a qualified probate attorney in the area where the property is located, is usually what I recommend, because a lot of times people will ask me for recommendations, and I have very good probate people that I work with in Dade and Broward mostly, but I don't have those relationships yet with people in, you know, in other counties of North Florida or Central Florida. So I'm not going to recommend a Miami attorney or a Broward attorney who doesn't know the probate judges where that needs to be filed, because that does make a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, technical stuff. That's why
Yeah.
that's why we need to go to you and Excellence Title. But
Yeah.
we don't see it often as realtors. It's very rare.
Yeah, it is. It is. But sometimes it's somebody like, you know, there's several people on titles usually when you see it, and then it happens, and then they just keep on owning it. And when they decide to sell, it's like, oh yeah, we never did this. You know, that's the most common scenario.
Plus, with COVID, I'm sure things slowed down a bit too, as far as getting things done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the good thing, one of the only good things about COVID is that a lot of people, you know, they kind of had to like think about it, and they actually did some estate planning. It's been a boom for those attorneys.
Right, yeah.
So there's a lot more people that have either trust set up or wills or different things than before, where nobody really thought about these things or tried not to think about these things. So so I am seeing that now, like, you know, a lot of people are more prepared.
More people have their ducks in a row.
Yeah, yeah. So
All right. Anything else you want to add before we
no, I mean, you know, obviously I try not to get too technical there. There's a lot of detail that goes into it. And again, the main thing is it's case by case. I don't want somebody saying, oh, you said on Title Talk Tuesday that we can get it done in 30 days, because every case is different. There could be cases where there's children from other marriages, or there's disputes, or there's creditors who are owed money who are filing claims, or there's estate taxes due. You know, it's a very complex area. And it's not cookie cutter. I can't tell you, yeah, if you have a probate, I'll get it closed for you in 30 days. Anybody who tells you that is just telling you what you want to hear so they can get your business.
get the business?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your time. Once again, visit excellencetitle.com. Paul's always going to be there to help you. And I'll see you in about 2 weeks, Paul. Thanks for doing
Sounds
this.
good.
It is a lot of information. That's why we got to head your way and go to the expert. But thanks again, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you in a little bit. Everybody have a good day. And as always, together moving forward. Thanks, Paul. You take care.
Thank you too.